Mr. Richmond, would you introduce yourself and please give us your DOC number?
All right, good morning. How y'all doing? I'm Justin Richmond, 518052.
Thank you. Mr. Richmond, today we're set for a parole revocation hearing. I want to explain our process to you. First, I'm going to read to you your parole. We're going to go over your parole revocation questionnaire, and then I'm going to read to you the allegations which you are alleged to have violated your parole. And I'm going to ask you as to each one of those to plead either not guilty, guilty, not guilty with a statement, or guilty with the statement. Then we're going to have a discussion, and then you'll have an opportunity to say whatever you'd like, and then the board is going to vote. Do you understand our process?
Yes, sir. I understand.
Do you have your parole revocation questionnaire in front of you?
No, sir.
Okay, we're going to put it up on the board, up on the screen there for you to be able to take a look at, okay?
All right.
Is that it there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have it with you now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is that your name at the bottom? Your well, you didn't sign it. Did you fill out any of this information?
Well, we went over this information, but I had to fully understand exactly what she was saying and what she was talking about. So when they had left and they came back for the signing, and I didn't sign it then.
Okay. Have you had an opportunity to review it?
This is the first time I had opportunity to review it when they sent it to me yesterday, a day before yesterday.
All right, well, let's talk about it. Let's go over it. Have you been treated for any mental illness in the past 5 years? Or are you currently taking any medication for a mental disorder?
No, sir. No, sir.
Can you read and write?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the parole violation charges against you?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to speak on your own behalf?
Yes, sir.
Do you own any property?
No, sir.
Okay. Are you ready to proceed today with our hearing?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to read the allegations, and I'm going to ask you to enter your plea. The first allegation is number 2. On November the 23rd of 2021, the Texas parole agent instructed you to report on November the 23rd of 2021, and you failed to report as directed. How do you plead to that charge?
That's guilty, sir.
Okay. Number 3, on November the 24th of 2021, the Texas parole agent attempted to contact you at your listed residence and noted that the residence was vacant. How do you plead to that allegation?
I'm not sure about the time the house that we was actually out the house. So I don't really know the exact time, but I know they probably went there that it was vacant because I was.
Number 3, on November the 16th of 2021, you admitted to being in the state of Louisiana for a while without valid reporting instructions. How do you plead to that?
Not guilty.
All right. Also, in number 3, you failed to submit an approved residence plan to the state of Louisiana in order to transfer your case from the state of Texas. How do you plead to that?
Well, I'm not guilty with a statement.
And also 3, you left the state of Texas without permission, which is evident by your arrest by the Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office on June 14th of 2023 on Common Street at 18th Street in Louisiana. How do you plead to that?
Yes, sir, that's guilty.
Yes. Your case has been assigned to Mr. Pete Freeman. Would you please answer his questions? He'll begin our interview process with you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Richmond, I see that a charge was added on 8/1 for failure to register. Do you realize you have that pending charge?
Well, that charge, I don't like. That's one thing. That's the problem I'm having now with this parole officer that I have out here in Louisiana. I mean, in Lake Charles. Like the woman, I don't even understand where the charge come from. Like I registered, I did everything I was supposed to do in Texas. All right. When I get down here to Louisiana, I get stopped. All right, because I'm come down here to get something from down here, and I get stopped. But they trying to say the charge come from months and months before, you know, and they reason why they put the charge on me because I was going to this parole hearing, because I called for a parole hearing. And then after I called for parole hearing and they knew I was going to parole hearing, they tried to put a charge on me, you know, to try to put more so I can have more sanctions and so I can have more chance of being violated. Like, that's not right, you know? If they,
Okay.
I had a
So you telling me you did register as a sex offender in Texas?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you report to your parole officer in Texas?
As I reported, only thing I didn't report is whenever I was trying to get my interstate compact back to Louisiana, when LaShondra LeBlanc, she denied my interstate compact multiple times, you know, and then we got a lease. We was in the process of getting back to Louisiana because in Texas, they tried to make me register for a lifetime. In Louisiana, it was only 15 years. So we're doing a process of everything. And it was no reason for her to violate, to just keep denying my interstate compact, trying to make things harder for me. My wife had just pregnant my first child. Yes, I panicked. I stayed in contact with my parole officer. Did I go up there? No, I didn't want to get arrested because my first child. And then, yes, but we stayed on the phone, we talked. I was living at a Washington on TC Justin, Texas, while my wife was here in Louisiana. Because I knew if I came to Louisiana, I would get stopped instantly because everybody knows me in Lake Charles. You know, this woman just making
You did know that you needed to have permission to come back to Louisiana.
No, I did not have permission to get to Louisiana when I came down here. I didn't come down here as soon as I did my interstate compact. I stayed in Texas for a while.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Were you working when you got back down here?
No, what I was trying to do, I was just trying to haul and junk cars when I came. That's what I was coming to Louisiana for, to get a car, to bring it back. That's the only means of me making money at the time. You know, if you can get all my paperwork from Texas, my life was going fine. I was trying to get jobs. I'm going to all my parole meetings. I'm going to all.
I mean, you said it was going fine, but your Texas officer says he couldn't find you because the house became vacant. So you obviously moved out of that house. And understand what you're saying. The lease was up, you moved out, but then you came back to Louisiana. The interstate compact was denied, which could be for several reasons. I mean, you know that you can't live by a school, you can't.
No, I don't have no restrictions. I don't have no restrictions.
Okay.
So it's no reason. I don't have no restrictions on me, none.
Have you ever registered in Louisiana?
Yes, when they sent me to jail, when it was in like 17 or 18.
Right. You're on parole for failure to register.
Yes, yeah. But if you go back and look, I registered with the sheriff's office and the city police, and the lady still sent me to jail for failure to register because I just didn't comply with one of the things that I didn't do, and she sent me to jail for failure to register. You know, but I try to go tell her, and then I actually even get the paperwork. The courts down here wouldn't even go get the paperwork from the sheriffs and the police, sheriffs in the city. You see that I registered. And then what I'm saying is, yes, everything was all right until the interstate compact came in and it was denied. That's what I'm saying. I was doing everything I was supposed to do, you know, in Texas. I was doing everything. Taking my classes, paying my fees, going to report every time he coming in, making the house visits, everything was fine. I didn't have no problems until this interstate compact came in and then she denied me. You know, my lease was up.
Where are you gonna live if you get out?
Right now today, well, I can either go back to Texas or I can go to my aunt's house or my brother's house.
But if you go back to Texas, they got to do the whole compact again.
Yeah, I know. But let's see.
You would have to register for life in Texas. You know that.
Sir?
You would have to register for life in Texas.
Yes, I know that. That's why I would sit there and register with my aunt's house or my brother's house here in Louisiana. Because that's the purpose of me moving back to Louisiana. Because when I got to Texas and when I registered and everything, and then the police, the sheriff department, they was like, well, it's a sex offense, so you would have to register for life. And that was the purpose of me coming back to Louisiana, because it was only 15 years here.
Mm-hmm. I have no further questions, but I'd like to call for the executive session.
So when did you last report to your Texas officer? What date was that?
The last time I reported, it was in, I think it's like the beginning of 22 or something like that.
Beginning of 22. Now your
Yes, ma'am.
officer was at your house in November of 21. They saw you moving stuff in November of 21. You had a moving van, you were moving out. So when did your lease expire in Texas?
The lease expired in like probably January or December or something like that. I'm not sure the exact date.
See what you're
I'm not,
doing? The
I'm not
officer
sure.
documented that they saw you moving stuff into
Right.
a moving van
Yeah,
on November the 15th of 21. So your lease must have been up November 30th.
no, we was,
First.
listen, I'm helping my wife move everything out. She leaving, she coming back to Louisiana because that's what we had said to do, to come
Yeah,
back.
but where were you living then? If she leaves, where were you?
I stayed there until, like, my last time my parole officer came, he seen that a lot of stuff was going out the house. He seen that. You
That
know,
was in November.
last time he came, everything was gone. You feel me? But I was still there.
Until when? So when did you come back to Louisiana?
I
When
came
did
back
the
to
lease
Louisiana.
expire?
I came back to
Remember, when did
Louisiana.
the lease expire in Texas?
Yeah, but I never came back to
When did
Louisiana.
it expire? When did the lease expire?
That's what I'm telling you. I don't know the exact date when it expired in Texas. I
What
don't.
month? What month?
It's either January or December or something like that. I don't know the exact time, you know, because it's been a little while ago.
Because
And
you evidently you couldn't afford to pay the rent. When your wife left, you could not afford to pay the rent.
yeah, that's why I told you I was at a Washington. If you can report, I wish my parole officer was here from Texas. Every time I talked to him, I was at a Washington on TC Justice. I was pretty much homeless.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, that's what it
I
sounds
was
like.
homeless. I was at a Washington on TC Justice in Texas. I don't have no family, nobody out there.
Yeah, yeah.
I was trying to wait. I was trying to wait.
And the case documentation we got from your PO don't indicate that there were any transfers submitted from Texas back to Louisiana. But you saying that she denied it. Yeah, I don't see why, like I said, in the documentation we have, we don't have anything that says that Texas sent a compact request for you to come back.
So there's my wife, I was in Texas, and if she even went up there and brought, because the lady Lysandra LeBron told my wife she couldn't accept the thing from the sister who owned the house, and my wife had to go to the parole office and drop another paper off to the parole office for the woman with the signature of the woman who owned the house, not the manager. They did interstate compact. I don't even, like, I wish Olani was in here, because he showed you that we submitted interstate compacts to come back to Louisiana.
But you do understand though that you weren't supposed to be here without a travel permit. You do understand that?
Right, yes,
So
ma'am.
Texas officer, if you had a job where you was traveling back and forth, your PO needs to know about it and get authorized a travel permit. You know that's a violation.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how many days were you in Louisiana? Are you gonna tell the truth about that? How many days?
Yeah, the same day I got here. When I got here, they stopped me when I got here.
Oh, we just that lucky, right? Actually, you're only here one day and you got arrested that day.
So automatically it's like,
No, I'm just asking.
nobody not
That's what you're
understanding.
saying.
I'm
That's what
lying
I'm asking.
automatically, making it seem like I'm lying already. Like that's
No, I'm not trying to make you seem like you're not, but I want to make sure you hear what you're saying. I want you to hear what I hear that you're saying. You're saying that you've been in Texas, you didn't have a place to stay, but you were just communicating with the officer in Texas. Don't know when the lease expired. You know, so when did you stop hanging out at the Texas apartment? When did you stop hanging out there?
Either January or December. That's when I stopped even being at the house, period, once the lease was completely up.
Right, but you don't know when, but you can't tell me when the lease over.
I don't know the exact date. I don't know the exact date.
Why, but can you tell me the exact month?
Like I told you, it's either January or December.
Okay, all right, that's all I had. Well, thank you for answering my question. That's all I had, Chair.
I got one last question for you. The officer tried to contact you on November 21st. You wasn't arrested until 6/23. Did you go by either of those offices between November and to your arrest date?
No, I didn't. I never went to see my officer.
Okay. I have no further questions.
No, okay.
No, okay. All right. Is there anything you'd like to say, Mr. Richmond, before the panel votes?
Man, all thing I say, if I'm gonna be violated for my parole, I don't think I actually did that. I can go to work release or something. That's it.
Okay.
Mr. Freeman?
Okay, I find you guilty of violating condition number 3. And My vote today is to revoke your parole with the recommendation that you be sent to work release.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Justin, my vote is the same for the same reason. Best wishes to you.
Likewise, my vote is the same, Mr. Richmond, so your parole's been revoked with a recommendation that you be allowed to go to work release. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.